welcome back to Power Up Gamers. This is episode 2 of Roll With It, where we talk about what inspires us and how it relates to RPGs. I'm Chris.
And I'm Nate over here.
And of course, I'm Driven D&D, the disabled GM, kind of sitting in as a guest on this series tonight.
So what's inspiring you guys this week?
Jaren, you want to share first?
I guess I could. It's not particularly RPG related, but it did inspire kind of a personality for an NPC. And it's kind of interesting. I have mass transit disability bus that picks me up to go to the doctor. And I was on way to a doctor appointment, and we had to stop to pick someone else up. And this young girl, probably 10, 11 years old, had those crutches that race onto their arms. And I was in the back. Was kind of surprised because I would think someone like that would need assistance onto the bus because it's kind of narrow steps and kind of steep. I was watching and like the bus driver offered to help her up, and she refused the help. And it looked like she was in pain and trying to get up. But that kind of really inspired. I was kind of the idea of a character that no matter what they're coming up against, will not quit, and they kind of keep going to see the end result. So that kind of inspired me to make an NPC kind of based off of that already.
That's awesome. How
That's
about you, Nate?
Story. There's a lot going on right now, actually. If anybody who, obviously a lot of people will know, I just recently got a dog, so in one way that's inspiring. But I have a story in a hospital as well, which is inspiring a few of my characters right now in the story in different ways. But so story time really quickly. There's this older man, and he's in ICU, intensive care unit. And he's having some issues. And I heard him yelling from his room, where are all the cute nurses? I thought hospitals just have cute nurses. And I'm like, oh man, this is one of those crazy old men, isn't it? So I sit there and watch as I'm putting away some stuff. And his wife comes around the corner, and she has this kind of quirky look to her. And she comes around the corner, and the old man just stops yelling as one of the nurses is trying to give him medicine, looks at his wife, and he says, there's all the beautiful nurses. Finally, there's at least one here. And he kind of gets up and gives his wife a hug and a kiss. And I got to talk to them. And apparently he used to serve in the military, and his wife was actually a nurse, and they fell in love then. And they kind of got together ever since. So he's this kind of crazy old man, and she's this down-to-earth, loving person, and they kind of just made it work for all this time. And that I'm kind of trying to build some characters off of. And it's just those kind of random stories I love.
That's an awesome story, too. Oh, my gosh.
So, what about you, Gracie? What inspires you?
So the one thing that inspired me this week was just tonight, but it's not character related. So I think I instead am going to talk about inspiration that I've gotten for characters in other ways, because we kind of wanted to concentrate on characters tonight.
Mhm.
So, a while back, way back when the Curdy brothers first were posting about this idea about the copper jackals, and I was one of the first people that like jumped in and said, "Oh yeah, I really want to play that," And they had asked people to start posting character ideas, and all these people are posting these like really cool images and these novels about their characters' backstories, and I was absolutely stumped. And so I asked, I finally posted something and said, man, I'm not going to get to play because I'm just like completely blocked. I have no clue what kind of character I want to play. And the advice that was given to me by the group was, well, who are your favorite characters in books or movies or, TV? So I have been, ever since then, finding that creating characters is so much easier because you can always like pull from something you read, right? So, I pulled from a couple characters from movies and books that I really liked for my Copper Jackal. But recently, with this game that Nate's been running for our online group, I haven't as much. I found it's kind of evolved. Like I'm not so much pulling from a character as I am pulling information out of things I've read. So I've come up with this character who's a halfling druidess, and she's a hunter. She's got elements of characters from books I've read, but I think the biggest thing is that I've drawn some culture stuff from this series of books I read ages ago that they were all about Native Americans, and they're just fiction, but I felt like they just had really good inspiration about how they would like pray to the different the spirit of the trees or the spirit of the creature that they hunted so that they could have food. And I've found that that's been like a really great source for me, is just all that kind of information that you absorb through the things that you do and the other passions you have. So that's been a big one for me, is books and movies and, pulling different pieces together. And I think this is the most in-depth and fleshed out character that I've ever had. It's been really amazing to kind of feel like I can really connect with her and share something with her, still not being so much just me pretending to run around with a bow and arrow or something. It's been pretty fun.
Well, it's not even just that either. You also, with her, you have another character you've already built for another game. I mean, your sister Bree is in the same thing, but she's also almost, I want to say she's entirely fleshed out yet, but she's already almost there.
Right. She's got a ways to go yet. I don't have her quite as in focus, but the idea of having a sibling character to play I thought was really fun. I have to admit, I think I got the inspiration for that from our good friend Mary, who has played a lot in Darren's games and is now playing in our group too. So other players can inspire you as well.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
And not just players, but other DMs. And I constantly watch YouTube videos before every session I run. Just because it inspires me, and there's certain ones I watch, like Expert the Bird, or I'll turn on Provokers or Vincent Cicely. But it's one of the things I kind of want to go back to and catch up for a bit is related to taking characters from movies first, or etc. You don't actually have to take the character at all. You can take a concept of them or one particular trait, okay? And one of the things I remember doing back a while ago in some of my competitive religion studies is watching or listening to an interview between Joseph Campbell and George Lucas talking about mythology, and they had basically defined these 12 archetypes and 12 basic stories, and how every story, every character relates to one of these concepts, such as like the mysterious tournament. So it's like I did this as a girl that I was mentioning. I took that never say die attitude and kind of that independent argue with myself. There's just little bits and pieces you can take without making like a duplicate of Luke Skywalker, Anakin, Darth Vader, Yoda.
Definitely. I know the C-Jack character that I came up with, I definitely pulled from a couple different characters. You know, I took the outdoor skills and hunting skills of one, and then pulled the dedication to family, you know, from another, and kind of, you know, arrived at something that I felt good about. And he even borrowed bits and pieces of one of their history, but then I put my, you know, from there I could kind of take a leap and add my own twist to it. But I did find that to be so helpful.
And it's pretty easy to do, to these different elements together. And you've experienced me doing it a couple times in Fairy Tale Adventure one shot and the League one shot they did. And I took just different bits and pieces from different things and wrote up something that was kind of unique on its own.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I'm gonna interject with what I usually do to make NPCs in my games. So unlike some what other people say, I actually don't watch other DMs to try to either kind of learn how they make their own NPCs, and nor do I really take NPCs necessarily from movies. One of my issues with movie NPCs or just characters are they're very flat to me, and it seems like there's only one big arc where they change and it shows that they're round. Versus like other long series such as Game of Thrones or books, you usually have more rounder characters that have a lot of different variations where to go through. So how I get my inspiration for NPCs is actually from my players. A great example of this was there was a character named Delphius. He's a Rose King, essentially, you can call him that. And originally, I kind of made him out to seem bad. But one of my characters decided that she wanted to fall in love with him. I don't know why. She just decided to. And from this, it actually...
He's a hottie.
He's a hottie. But I decided to build him in an entirely different light from that point. And she really helped design his character, and she even made him go through his own story-changing arc, which is still continuing right now. So, long story short, I really rely on my characters to help design the world and design my NPCs, because it's not about me as a DM, it's about the characters.
That's a really good point too. I definitely take a lot of inspiration from players, the characters' backstories.
Oh yeah, you gotta make them feel involved. Now this is a bit harder though in larger groups. I will admit it's almost nearly impossible once you reach a group of 10. It's by then it's just like just forget about it. Just they're all going on an adventure.
It'd be a lot to keep track of, that's for sure.
Oh, it'd be way too much. That'd be insane.
Well, I believe we had a couple pieces of news to share.
Who would like to share this? Which one of us?
You go right ahead.
All right, so I'm going to share what my bit of news is. On September 19th, D&D just let loose a whole new kind of revision. People were having questions about some certain rules they weren't really, sure about, certain spells, certain blah 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 blah, so on and so forth. So they actually just released something you find on the D&D website. We'll post a link below for you guys if you wish to. Read about it yourself. They also did one other thing too, which I think is worth looking at. They actually revised the Ranger set. I know a lot of people have been complaining about Rangers and how completely pretty underwhelming they are. So it's worth a look, definitely.
RPG Brigade Con is coming up, put on by the RPG Brigade, I should say. That's happening on October 29th. There's still lots of time to register. If you've never participated before, it's a 24-hour convention for gaming that's all done virtually online, and it's loads of fun. I played in a game for the first time last year, and the year before that I just kind of watched some of the things going on. But there's panels and discussions, live Q&As, and there's lots and lots of games. As of October 15th, you can start signing up for games. So if you haven't registered yet, hop on over there and do that. We'll post the link below. And any proceeds from that, if you're not familiar with it, if you purchase a T-shirt or you want to donate, all the proceeds go to Child's Play, which is an organization that gives toys and games to kids in hospitals. And I understand that it was started at Children's Hospital in Seattle, right here in my home area. So it's a pretty great cause. It's a really fun way to spend a day, and you don't want to miss it. So hop over there and take a look and get yourself registered.
Okay, and with that, I would like to include for Brigade Con, I will be running 3 events during that day. One's a DM's panel, one's on a one-shot for my fairy tale adventures, and one is a one-shot that could possibly launch off a new campaign.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Okay. but I can't say a whole lot about our them yet, other than I'm doing them. So for like 10 hours that day, I'll be participating. And that brings us to, I believe, the last piece of news. This Sunday, I believe it's something like 7 Mountain Time. I'm the second season of Provokers, Absolute Tabletop, and Matt Quick Fistful of Dice is going to be DMing. And it should to be a blast. The first season was awesome.
Yeah, totally.
So definitely check that out. It's well worth watching if you can make time to watch the videos. So is there anything else you guys want to kind of touch on? I basically said my piece.
I don't think I have anything else. What about you, Nate?
I just have some things planned soon for some cool videos. If any of you guys are interested, I'm going to do a little more videos on actual hiking and camping since we're going to be going soon. And so I'll try making that interesting. And I'm going to try making it a little more on the comedic side. So see if we can do something fun with that.
Very cool. All right, well, we'll see you all again next week, same time, same place. And until then, may all your dice roll high.
And the DM's dice roll very low, preferably.